Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy. What's going on, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, most entertaining fantasy football show on the planet. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And it's about damn time, dude. We are dropping some rankings today. We're giving you the 10 best tight ends to draft in 2025 for fantasy football. We've each got our top 10 lists. It's a divisive position. So get into those comments, baby. Let's talk about it. A lot of overhead with these guys. That's a tight end joke because they're tall.
Oh, nice. Got him.
Get
Crushing it. This is the most entertaining fantasy football show on YouTube. Obviously. Smash like, subscribe.
Smash like, subscribe.
For more
We're giving
jokes
away
like
a
that.
signed Brian Thomas Jr. mini helmet this year.
True.
All you got to do is be subscribed to our YouTube channel and join our Discord. Completely free. No purchase necessary. 18 and under, ask your parents for permission. And let's get straight into it, dude.
This is going to be
anything else to you?
No, this is just going to be a very interesting top 10 because it feels like it's just a complete guess after like the top 4, maybe 5. And I'm very curious where the trollers stand on their top 10. We're going to do our best to try to give our opinions based on training camp so far, what we're seeing with ADP and all that stuff. Noah, you're up first. We're doing this from tight end 1 down to tight end 10.
Oh, yeah. 1 to 10. No suspense needed. Because how much suspense can there really be with a top 10 list at the top, you know? But it's the same for you guys. And so we're going to give you the guys you've probably been thinking about already first, and then we're going to get into some of the late round studs. Some of the people we are lower on that are still going to be available and better for you in the end. I'm going to jump straight to it, Wes. My tight end 1 for 2025 is none other than George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. Love me some George Kittle. Here's the thing. Since 2018, George Kittle has been tight end 3, tight end 1, tight end 3, tight end 4, tight end 2, and tight end 4, and tight end 1 in points per game amongst all tight ends. He's been so consistent for so long, and I bet you're wondering, well, maybe is that going to change? Not really. He's going to lead the team in targets, I would guess. That's my projection, and there's really no one really threatening him for receptions. And Ayuk is coming off an injury. Pearsall is a bit unknown. Jawan Jennings had some time last year where he was exciting, but Deebo Samuel's gone, and all those guys just mentioned, who knows if any of them can stay healthy because they've been hurt all the offseason already. Listen, I love George Kittle. Here's one last piece for you that's really pushed him to my tight end 1 here. Second most receptions of any pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver inside the 10-yard line last year. He is right up there. The touchdowns are there. Brock Purdy, they're going to be cooking, and they've got a super easy schedule. Love George Kittle. He's my tight end 1.
Yeah, he's coming up on my list pretty soon, but one of the very few tight ends that you can actually put as the number 1, which is why we're starting with number 1. There's not much suspense as who the number 1 is going to be. It's not going to be like, my number 1 is Theo Johnson from the Giants. Let's go. Surprise. Watch him be like the top 3. Because why not? Because of the tight ends. Yeah, I just did. I hope so. I've got him in one dynasty league. That'd be kind of fun. All right, here's my number 1 tight end for 2025. Most people are... It's between George Kittle, one other tight end, and my tight end 1, which is Trey McBride. I'm all in. I'm not someone that usually drafts tight ends early, okay? I've rarely done this before. I've actually done this, and I was thinking about this once. Once have I ever drafted a tight end in the first 3 rounds, and it was Travis Kelce in 2019. Won the chip that year, which was very special. Very interesting. So I don't say it lightly when I say I think Trey McBride is worth the 2nd round, early 3rd round value. There is so much chemistry going on between him and Kyler Murray. There's so much anticipation for what they will continue to do. We've said it many times, mostly me, this offseason, that McBride has been vocal about wanting to have, quote, a Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes type chemistry between him and Kyler Murray. No reason to think Marvin Harrison's going to steal targets away just yet. Not enough to take Cherry McBride out of the top 3. I've got him as the best tight end on the season. I'm really thinking about drafting a tight end in the second round because of how good Cherry McBride is going to be.
I do not blame you. I don't blame you at all. And I mean, it'll lead straight into it. My tight end 2 is Trey McBride. You know, he was right there for me. 111 receptions last year, 4th most in the last decade amongst all tight ends. And he was the tight end 2, and he scored twice. That's it. He scored 2 touchdowns, and he was the tight end 2.
It's
I, I
crazy.
I don't even I'm projecting Marvin Harrison to take some targets away, and he's still my tight end 2 because dude's gonna get in the end zone at least 4 more times this year, and it's gonna be fantastic, you know. So love it, love it, love it. Trey McBride's gonna be awesome, and I don't have much more on top of it. That's really all I got with McBride. He's your tight end 1, he's my tight end 2. He's gonna be great and
Yeah.
worth the draft price.
There's our consensus for sure. Draft Trey McBride. I think in the fourth and troll consensus top 10, McBride is number 1, which is where a lot of people are going to have him in that top 2. Here's my number 2. Let's add a little bit of heat to this top 10 list. This is, I think, the ceiling, if not even higher than the ceiling, but you never know how these tight ends are going to work out. My tight end 2, seen a trend going on. 2023 was a rookie. 2024, tight end 1 was a rookie. I'm going rookie, and I'm going Tyler Warren as my tight end 2 for the season. One of the most versatile players in, yeah, hold
That's
up.
a
Here
super
comes the
hot, spicy
steam.
take.
Oh yeah. I see it. I see the path for an incredible season in fantasy for Tyler Warren. His versatility at Penn State is unbelievable. There's rushing upside for Tyler Warren. And there are truly, with no disrespect to the wide receivers, no competition for pass catchers for him. And I'd even say I don't know if I can trust the health of Jonathan Taylor consistently enough where that even takes away. I mean, the ceiling continues to grow and grow and grow for where Tyler Warren can finish on the season. One of the best late round or late draft picks you can have for 2025. I am all in. I'm expecting to take Tyler Warren as my tight end 2 going into the season so that I can have some assurance in case Warren isn't great or there's an injury or if there's any kind of Colts confusion with the quarterback room. But we saw what happened with Malik Neighbors the year before. We've seen that with Brock Bowers last season. You don't need to have a consistent, solid quarterback under center for the pass catcher to be top 10. I'm all in on Tyler Warren. Sign me up. Let's do it. I'm hoping to walk over the tight end 1 and tight end 2 after getting McBride and then Warren in my drafts. It's crazy upside.
Warren, listen, the history's there. If
Apparently.
anyone was going to do it, he is as good as Loveland. Anybody else you want to talk about who could be there in tight end fantasy points scoring. So I love it. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. I'm going to talk about my tight end 3 now, and this is where I've got Brock Bowers. Second year tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders. With how things are looking, I believe he will lead the team in targets this year. I believe he will be the target leader for this offense. He's got a quarterback upgrade. It's a more competent quarterback, though, so that ball is not going to be just streamlined in on Bowers, but I still believe he will be just as good and just as solid as was last year. I truly believe it. Only reason he's not higher is because they drafted a sneaky little, very athletic person at a 6th overall pick, and this run game is going to be more competent in Vegas, and obviously, so it's going to take away some opportunity there. Uh, but Brock Bowers only had 6 targets inside the 10-yard line last year, so there's give and take here. I think he's not going to be just beelined in on him, and he's going to go crazy with targets or anything like that. Ball's going to be spread out more, but more touchdowns are going to be available to him as well. So if you want him, I don't fault you drafting him at price. He's one of the few tight ends that I am like a confident plug and play every single week guy who should be a great contributor for your team. So I don't fault you if you want to take Bowers. And again, he's not bad. He's my tight end 3. That's just I got a couple guys higher.
Yeah, I can't draft a tight end first round. I can't do it. I would fault you. I'd give you a little stink eye if you draft a
Mm,
tight end that early. He's not in my top 3. Um, there's just so much room for error for top 10 tight ends to go that early. And I know I just went on and said Trey McBride can be worth his second round draft pick, but I believe Bowers is the top 10 tight end. I think I've been burned the last 2 seasons. Travis Kelsey, let's do it. Top 2 rounds, let's draft him. Oh, it sucked that next year. Okay, fine. 2024, let's get Sam Laporta first round. Let's do him or the second round. Oh, he was barely top 10. Okay, I have some PTSD with Brock Bowers because of the previous 2 seasons, so we'll see how he does. My tight end 3 on the season, you love him, and you didn't hear a word about him because he was injured for the first part of the season and he didn't have any practice with that starting quarterback for the team. Let's talk about the third best tight end on the season, TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, I really believe this guy is coming back and he's going to be a phenomenal tight end in fantasy. He has always been very good. With the Lions and with the Vikings, Hawkinson has been a bona fide fantasy producer. He has been one of the best draft picks, best values at the position. And I believe this season he's going to be just as great as he's ever been. Now, Hawkinson's with a different quarterback than he was, I guess, the last 2 seasons. But let's talk about JJ McCarthy for a second here. Who knows what the upside is for his pass catchers? Here's a guy that I still have a lot of questions about because he didn't even have 3,000 yards in any single season at Michigan. People wonder if that's because the rushing attack was so good, because the defense was so good in Michigan that he didn't have to air it out. I don't know. But I'm also wondering about this Justin Jefferson hamstring injury that's going on. I also wonder if rookie quarterbacks, because he's still a rookie quarterback, is going to really want to go to his security blanket, which is TJ Hawkinson. We're reading a lot about this in training camp, a lot of reasons to affirm a tight end that's been very good in the past will be really, really good for this season. I am loving Hawkinson as the tight end 3 for 2025.
Yeah, I really like Hawkinson. I've got Hawkinson as my tight end 4. My tight end 4 is TJ Hawkinson. We're in step here, Wes. Solid games last year, didn't score once. It was up and down because of just the chemistry and the usage there, but I think he's a guy that he's volume should be great. Volume should be there in this offense. Even better start here with a possible Jordan Addison suspension coming in as well. So, and they've got a nice schedule to start the year. Every year with Kevin O'Connell that he's been healthy, he's been top 4. So I've got him as my tight end 4. Yeah, some unknowns, but I think we had some unknowns with a quarterback named Sam Darnold last year, and I think if there's anybody who can make JJ McCarthy take a step even more and be NFL ready and be competent in the NFL, it's going to be Kevin O'Connell. So really like TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, he's my tight end 4.
Yeah, I think we're both in consensus at the value as well. Like it's an incredible value because I think he's going somewhere like 8th round right now in redraft,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
it's
Upside is great,
yeah.
great for Hawkinson. All right, my tight end 4 for 2025 is Noah's tight end 1. We're both in consensus on the greatness of George Kittle. Tight end 4 for me. I don't have much more to add than what Noah said at the top of the video. Kittle's been consistent with Purdy, with Garoppolo, with Trey Lance, with me. I mean, with a lot of different
Yeah,
quarterbacks under
it's
center
been
there for
great.
San Francisco.
Juwan
I didn't do as
Jennings, he
well.
throws passes
Yeah,
sometimes, but
yeah, I didn't. I'm not as good of a quarterback as Brock Bowers.
only a
Brock Purdy.
little.
Only a
Man, you
little
might
bit.
be
I don't
as good
know.
a quarterback as Brock Bowers.
I'm probably a better quarterback than Brock Bowers. Have I said his
Maybe,
name
yeah,
yet? No,
yeah,
that's why. That's
yeah.
why, because I'm a better quarterback. Anyway,
Right.
George Kittle is going to be phenomenal. Again, injury concerns all around for this 49ers team. I don't know what curse is on them, but now Juwan Jennings is dealing with a calf injury. Heard that last season. I'm getting a little nervous about that. Ricky Pearsall had a hamstring injury. He's back off the pup list, but we'll see where that goes. McCaffrey coming off of 2
The
examples of Achilles
turnover rate for
tendonitis.
this medical training team must be crazy. Like this,
They
like
are
what is going
terrible.
on?
Someone has to be fired every other
Yeah,
month. Like, there's
it's
no
crazy.
way.
That's
And
crazy.
then Debo's gone. All that you said, plus the injury. He's been consistently healthy as well. So I love Kittle as a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, that's great. My tight end 5 here, hitting the halfway point. It's a guy I talked about recently that I had some question marks about, and it's Evan Ingram. It is. I have done the looks and the research here, and I'm going. Listen, this guy's about to PPR his way to a top 5 fantasy season, isn't he? He could just be absolutely peppered. he could lead this team in targets for what it's worth. I know his teammate Cortland Sutton just signed a massive contract extension, but with the usage in the short yardage area of the field, it should be Ingram, and that should kind of be the guy for that middle section of the field. And Bo Nix, known to love the tight end.
Me too. Am I
Bo
right?
Nix, yeah, who doesn't? You know what I'm talking about? But Sean Payton as well loves the tight end. And he's talked about this joker role, quote unquote, for Evan Ingram. Just think it's a really safe floor. I think he's the more athletic version of Zach Ertz, to be honest. And it's just I feel like they're gonna have that connection there. So I think Evan Ingram's about to PPR his way to a top 5 season.
I won't be surprised if you're right. I couldn't manage to squeeze Evan Ingram into my top 10 because I do like the receivers and the hype that Bo Nix and Sean Payton have been saying. And also, I'm really just kind of becoming more and more biased about RJ Harvey's PPR
Yeah,
upside as well.
that's fair.
Not that they can't coexist, but we're starting to slip into, here we go, trollers, into the area of the unknown.
Yeah.
The no man's land of fantasy football rankings.
Thanks for pointing that out,
already.
Wes. Yeah, because it is. I feel confident in my top 4, and now I know like all. I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine here, guys. But I've done the research and I've tried to look at some things.
We're gonna give our best reasons here, okay? We are putting fantasy football advice out onto the internet for all to take and to process and to apply to their drafts. So
yeah,
that's your reason. Cool. Here's my number 5 tight end, Sam Laporta. I believe there's a really, really safe floor. It's the kind of the same logic as what you have with Ingram for Laporta. My thinking is there's a really good chemistry already built with Jared Goff, and the underwhelming season for Sam Laporta was that he just wasn't like top 2. He was still tight end 8 on the season. Let's not forget that he was still really good last year. He just had so many touchdowns his rookie season. But now he's had 2 full years. Amon-Ra St. Brown got all the touchdowns last season in the red zone. He was a freak for touchdowns. So I think this is a really good season for Laporta. I don't know if I'm ready to take him on his ADP, to be honest, just because I like a lot of the other wide receivers and running backs at that same point. But Laporta certainly has the top 5 upside for 2025.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk about him here in just a little bit, but he belongs on the list. He belongs in this video. So I agree. We're hopping over. We're getting to the back part now. Here we go. Tight end 6. A guy who just made a lot of money. It is tight end Jake Ferguson of the Dallas Cowboys. I had Jake Ferguson as my guy in 2023. Very, very excited about him. He got hurt in week 1, and then he came back in week 3, and he was a top 10 tight end in 4 of the 6 games that Dak Prescott played before he got hurt. So I'd like to think that I really was close there, but I do believe he is still a very relevant guy. We saw some of Luke Schoonmaker last year. I don't know how confident they are in him. He made good on some opportunities, but when they give the guy ahead of him on the depth chart a big bag of money, I don't know where that's going to land at in his usage. Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach of the Cowboys, has talked a lot about him, has talked a lot about how much they love him, how much he is a part of what they're doing. And so, again, was a tight end 8 in 2023, was fourth in the NFL in red zone targets in 2023. I think this is still going to carry over, and he's a guy that's going really late, and I believe that he is a good value for you. I just had to scroll so much. He's going in the 13th round of fantasy drafts. Like, that's kind of crazy to me for a guy who, a couple years ago was inside that top 10 and, maybe had a bit of a down year. But tight end 6, Jake Ferguson.
I see it. Prescott's also been good with different tight ends as well, like you say with Luke Schoonmaker.
Yeah, it's actually written that way. This
Luke
entire
Schoon?
sentence is written down on his birth certificate. That's exactly how his parents were confused. The nurse was just writing their thoughts. That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, done. I'm turning it in.
Shun?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, but even before them, Dalton Schultz, great with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's a very tight end friendly quarterback for fantasy. Okay, here's my tight end 6. A lot of faith in this guy. Let's do it again. Mark Andrews. Tight end 6. A lot of questions as whether or not this is going to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of reason to believe that he is done. A lot of people dropped him. We said so last year. When you put up 2 goose eggs in a row, you don't deserve to be on anybody's fantasy team, no matter the name value. When you get outshined by your backup tight end in week 1 and you drop however much fab you want to on Isaiah Likely, I get it. I get there's a lot of questions, but there still seems to be a lot of connection between Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews so far this offseason. And Mark Andrews has seemed to just kind of put his head down and say, that was on me. All of it. All of it was on me. And I gotta make this right. And so I'll buy in. Probably not going to draft him because I either by that point I already have Trey McBride, or I'm
Right.
just going to wait for like Hawkinson or get Tyler Warren. But I believe, as far as the rankings go, Mark Andrews is still just as capable as any other goddamn tight end in the NFL to make top 10 for fantasy. So let's put a little faith, I think, in this guy that I saw promise in this offseason, and someone that we know, wait a minute, was top 10 last year. Despite all of that, was still top 10 last year. So there you have it. Mark
Yeah,
Andrews, let's see.
that one was a big shock whenever we were talking about this and sharing our lists of seeing him on your list. But I mean, why not run it back? Let's do it. My tight end 7. Here we go. My tight end 7, Wes, is Tyler Warren of the Indianapolis Colts. You talked about him already. I don't have much more to say outside of what you already have said. I want it to be a tight end 2 season, and consistent quarterback play does scare me a little bit in Indianapolis, but this is the kind of guy who I wouldn't be shocked if he leads the team in targets. Major draft capital taken in the early first round of the draft. What's not to love? The rookies have run the table the past 2 years, so run it back, and this guy's going to be awesome. He's going to be very productive, I believe.
You know what's so funny is that 2 seasons ago, we were talking about tight ends, and you and I were reading a lot about this random rookie tight end for the Lions, Sam Laporta, in training camp. And we were like, wait a minute, this guy might be pretty good. And then we got to our rankings, and I was like, I think Dalton Kincaid is going to be rookie tight end. And you, in real time, I don't know if you remember this, in real time, you looked up rookie tight ends in fantasy, and you were like, Wes, this isn't like haven't happened like this entire century. No
Yeah,
way
like
rookie tight ends are going to make top 10. And we're like, all right. I love numbers. I love data. I love history when it comes to fantasy football. And I was like, all right, never mind. Whoops. Every single year since then, the tight end 1 has been a rookie. I say every year. It's been 2 years. So I think we're in a new era. We're in a new era for tight end rookies. My number 7, last year's number 1, it's Brock Bowers. This is where I have him. Part of it is a little bit of spite because I don't like his ADP. And part of it is because of what happened with Brock Bowers the year before. Part of it is because of Travis Kelce the year before that, too, where it just seems a little, it just happens this way last 2 seasons. Now, that could just be outliers, but I also am going into a little bit of what you have said, Noah, with this guy, Ashton Genty or whatever his name is. Oh, like probably the best running back we'll have in the next 30 years. Like this guy's upside, it's incredible. Of course, Pete Carroll is very rush focused until you get to the goal line in the Super Bowl. Whoops, too early. Nope. And then you have a lot of good reports about Jacoby Myers. And then you have offensive coordinator Chip Kelly saying, yeah, we're going to start using Michael Mayer a lot more. I'm not worried about Brock Bowers being out of the top 10. I'm just worried that you're going to have a really difficult season taking Brock Bowers in the first round. So I still think he'll be one of the
do
best.
want to push back on that real quick. I don't know where you're seeing his ADP in the first round. I've got it up.
Where is he?
The 204 is he's going. It's 16 ADP. So
16.
I mean, either
right. Fair enough.
If you're in a 10 team, that's middle of the second round. If you're in a
fair enough
12 team, early second. But the ADP is, bet your fucking bottom dollar it's high for Brock Bowers. So yeah, I don't fault you, and I hold a little spite in my heart as well. He's the consensus 1 going as the 1. We both have him outside of that, so I don't blame you.
Wonderful.
My tight end 8. It's Sam Laporta. You already talked about him, Wes. I really like him. I think he's great. There's a handful of guys I like a little more. But John Morton, new Lions OC, has expressed excitement about isolating opportunities for guys in his offense, and he's mentioned Laporta by name in those kind of quotes there. So I just think there's a few mouths to feed, and this offense is not going to be just as effective and efficient and as good. And so I also think James Williams has a bit of a breakout here. So I just they're playing in the same archetype of player or athleticism, but it's just I just a couple more other guys that I like a little more just because of some concerns. But I mean, tight end 8, he's going as the tight end 4 at the start of the 6th. So like you said, don't love that ADP, but he should be solid. He should be good.
Yeah, I mean, I've already talked about him, but we both have him out. I mean, it's just likely he's going to be top 10. I don't know. Is it? Who knows? Tight ends are so
Who actually
frustrating.
knows, dude?
Who actually knows? We're doing our best here. Here's my, what are we? Tight end. That's your tight end
You're
8.
8. You're on 8. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I guess. I guess that makes sense with how the other tight ends have done last year. Back to back tight end 8 seasons. Whatever. Here we go. Tight end 8 for me. Dallas Goddard. Surprise. Did you think you're going to hear Dallas Goddard's name in the top 10 tight ends?
I don't know.
Here are a couple reasons why I think Goddard can succeed. One, he's been very adamant about having really good chemistry with Jalen Hurts and really, really tried to have a 1,000-yard season. And he has been pushing for it. And he is a good tight end. He has done his part when the Eagles have been in the postseason the last 3 years. He has done a very good job. And they gave him a nice contract not too long ago. What I will say is I have Dallas Goedert in my top 10 because I have such serious injury concerns for the rest of that team. Okay. I highly doubt, highly doubt Saquon Barkley is going to be healthy for this season. Highly doubt it. It's almost impossible for me to believe that Saquon is going to make it through, I don't know, double-digit games even. So I have that concern. AJ Brown has been consistently hurt. Devonta Smith has been consistently hurt. These guys just can't stay healthy. I don't know why, but someone's got to catch the football. And with the way that the Eagles offense runs, they're going to need to throw the ball occasionally. And if Saquon gets hurt or AJ Brown gets hurt or Devonta Smith gets hurt or a mix of all of that or all of them, I find Dallas Goedert somehow ending up in the top 10, and I like his odds to do so. I don't know if I'm going to draft him personally because I like the value of some of these other tight ends we've already talked about, but I expect Goddard to have a really good season for fantasy. One of those seasons where you look back and you're like, well, he was top 10? Why? He only had like 3 good games. Well, that's all you need to make top 10 for tight end. So there's my pitch why Dallas Goddard could be a top 10 tight end for 2025.
Yeah, that's fair. In my opinion, he's not in my top 10, but those things will have to happen. If you told me right now, hey Noah, listen, there are going to be games where Dallas Goedert is the number 2 receiving option. There's gonna be 7 games this season where he's the number 2 receiving option. I'd probably have him inside my top 10 around this spot as well. So those things will have to happen for me, but I think I don't have the same confidence, but that people's years will be ruined. Way to go, Wes. Wow, you're such a nice guy.
Sorry. I don't care,
So
dude.
nice.
I just speak truth. Don't shoot the messenger. Whatever. Top 10 tight ends. I don't care.
Somehow the year that not a single player in the NFL gets hurt. What?
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. After last season, we deserve it.
Yeah. Couple more guys here. My tight end 9. You've talked about his teammate already, Wes. It's Isaiah Likely. I believe the shift happens this year. And again, this is tight end 9. So remember that. But I believe the shift happens this year. The coach speak from Harbaugh and from Todd Monken are that the expectations are very high for Isaiah Likely this year. And you could go, oh yeah, no, because the alternative is that they ask him what they're expecting from Isaiah Likely, and they're like, whatever. Whatever he wants to put out there on the field.
He'll make
like,
the
I don't
team.
know. Yeah, I guess he'll be around. But listen, it could be way off. But even as the top tight end still here in a primarily run-heavy team because they have this guy named Derrick Henry, I just think there are still 3 other good target earners on this team in Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. And don't forget they added DeAndre Hopkins to this team in the offseason. So might be tough goings here, but listen, one of these Baltimore tight ends will probably end up in the top 10 here at the end of the year. So we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. But I think Isaiah likely could possibly make the leap and overtake Mark Andrews on the depth chart this year.
Trollers, if you were with us last season, what a
Yeah.
flip.
Everybody's like, what the hell just happened?
I was so on the Isaiah Likely train last year.
Yeah.
I was shouting his name at the rooftop. You're like, Mark Andrews will not lose his job. But now this year is like, Mark Andrews can't lose his job. You're
Yeah.
like, it's Likely season.
Yeah, it's completely flipped. Yeah.
I read that Harbaugh said that he expects Isaiah Likely to be an all-pro. It was like, whoa,
Right.
that'd be cool.
As a second string tight end, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing is, you said, let's not forget that DeAndre Hopkins is on the team. You might need to remind Lamar Jackson that he has wide receivers on the team. So if anyone needs to be reminded, it's the quarterback. All right, here's my tight end 9. Here's my pencil, so I look professional here. Here's my wild card for top 10 tight ends. Mason Taylor, New York Jets tight end. You ready for this? I don't think you are. I don't think they are. Are you guys ready? Justin Fields can produce really good tight ends in fantasy consistently. You know why we know the name Cole Kmet? It's because of freaking Justin Fields. Cole Kmet is not that great for like a pass catcher, for game-changing pass catchers. But rushing quarterbacks, they just do this. They just throw the ball at the tight end so much. Mason Taylor, big fan of his dad. Big fan of his dad, okay? Here we go. Jason Taylor. This is not Jason Taylor. This is a doll. And this is not number 99. This is just a Miami Dolphins guy. Our season's going to be terrible. But Jason Taylor has birthed, not himself, has helped conceive a son that is going to be a top 10 tight end. who I did not think,
the necessary part to make
He did his part. He did his part. I'm sure they both enjoyed it. And Mason Taylor, I think...
What is going on?
Dude, don't mock. I've got a pencil in my hand. I'm professional. You can't mock me right now. You have to take me seriously. Did you see? I got this for a reason. Anyway, point is, rushing quarterbacks, Mason Taylor has been rushing quarterbacks. They target tight ends. Mason Taylor has been getting a lot of praise. I know that some people are trying to push back, like he's not guaranteed the starting role, but outside of Gary Wilson, not a single person on that team is worthy of getting the targets that Justin Fields is going to get him. Pencil's going away. Now, there it is. Mason Taylor, top 10 tight end, number 9.
Hey, Jason Taylor, nice seed. Thanks, dude. Like,
have you seen him? He's a wonderful man. He's a beautiful man. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course he would produce create a great person.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right, we've made it. Tight end 10. Here we go. He does still make it into my top 10. I have Travis Kelce here as my tight end 10.
Wow.
2024 was a career low in yards and touchdowns. And honestly, I don't expect season-long production, but if Rashee Rice is suspended for 4 games, I think Kelce will be a top 10 play in those 4 weeks because they share that area of the field. If Rashee Rice isn't there, I think Kelce gets more looks there and PPRs his way to a better, better start, I guess, to the year. But I don't think he will be consistently producing once Rashee Rice returns. Also, his career low in touchdowns. So I'm banking in there that he probably scores a couple more touchdowns than his 3 that he did last year. But this is my official endorsement too. Don't draft him. I just think he's going to do enough in those 4 games that he ends the year still remaining as a top 10 tight end. There you go.
Yeah, I guess you could say, like, with your 15th pick, if you want a second tight end, you can go name value. You can go with one of the greatest tight ends ever. Sure, he can be your backup tight end. That's fine. I'll take that. But as far as the Noah Gray hype as well, and what he might start to contribute in the tight end position, I mean, I'm not saying Noah Gray. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to produce a top 10 tight end for sure, whether it's Travis or Noah Gray. But yeah, it's definitely over for him. It's sure, but it's not hard to be top 10, which is why it's possible. All right, here's my number 10. It's Jake Ferguson. Noah's a little bit higher on him than I am. I just have a little bit more faith in George Pickens stealing more targets with all that anticipation. And you want some breaking news? Guess what? Another
I know.
Cowboys
I
offensive
just saw
tackle
that.
has torn their ACL. So the passing
Yeah.
upside is going to be really high. I think this was really more just concern about rushing game. Not that there really was any rushing attack to be hopeful for the
Yeah.
Cowboys, but it's going to be a
That
tough year. I think
sucks.
it's going to be kind of, I anticipate it's going to be a little bit more like the Bengals from last season, where you just got to throw it, because I don't know if they're going to pay Micah Parsons. By the time you're watching this video, they've already answered that question. I don't know what's going on with the offensive line. They lost Zach Guard, or not Zach Guard, Zach Martin, the
Zach,
guard, Zach the guard. He retired, and now
just
they have
the
a
just the Monday Night Football thing where they're flashing up the players.
Zach
They're
guard,
Zach Garb, Martin.
Javante running back,
Yeah. Yeah.
CD receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Goodness.
Ferguson in my top 10 as well.
Yeah.
A lot of a really safe floor. I just love the wide receivers for this Cowboys team. A little too much to make him any higher, but worth a shout out to make him top 10.
Fair.
There are our tight ends for
That sucks.
2025. That news, right?
Yeah, that sucks. That's their rookie that they drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
And
Tyler Guyton, the guy
if you guys haven't seen any Tyler Guyton clips or anything, like, he's like such a lovable cutie pie. This guy, he has a pet turtle, and it's adorable. And this guy was killing media day after he got drafted, so that's a bummer. Shout out to him. We wish him a good recovery, a speedy recovery. Listen, that's gonna do it. Listen, we get some overlap here. We got some differing players in our top 10s. Thank you guys for hanging out. Drop in the comments. Let us know who you think we missed, who you think should have been. And notably, I will point out, neither of us had David Njoku in our top 10, and he did not make it there. I'll say there's a guy that was just outside my top 10, Brenton Strange, who could be in there. I like his value as well.
Number 11 for me.
Yeah. So anyone on your David Njoku? Did we kind of miss anybody major?
I didn't put Colston Loveland in my top 10.
Yeah, he's there, but like not there in top 10. He's around there, but
yeah, big thing for me is that
he's
been injured, and he's just not able to practice with Caleb Williams and kind of get that chemistry in their first season together. Otherwise, yeah, Kyle Pitts is still not in our top 10, despite what Michael Penix Jr. is trying to do. And no Dalton Kincaid, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So
Tucker Kraft not in there either. Just confusing with the Green Bay pass catchers. But listen,
no Darren Waller.
No Darren Waller.
Shocking.
No rapper Darren Waller in our top 10 tight end list.
After last season,
didn't make
can you believe
cut.
it?
Yeah. Listen, thank you guys for watching. If you want to sign the Brian Thomas Jr. mini helmet, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and you have to be in our Discord, do all that. It's all going to be linked down below. But thank you guys for watching. Stick around. I believe this time next week, we'll be dropping a top 10 quarterbacks for 2025 video. It's that time, guys. It's exciting. This week, there is NFL football. The Hall of Fame game is on Thursday. This is insane that we've made it here. But season is about to kick back into full swing. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy.